That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, the sophomore film directed by Joel Crawford, which is being released courtesy of Universal on December 21st, 2022.
Are there two previous Puss in Boots movies?
There's one previous Puss in Boots film from 2011 from the Shrek universe. This is a standalone sequel, but technically the sixth entry, I believe, in that realm.
This director?
Joel Crawford, who's worked in the art department on a lot of films, including the Kung Fu Panda movies, previously directed The Croods' New Age in 2020, I believe. And also, Januel Mercado is listed as the co-director, since the first Puss in Boots in 2011, there were a lot of plans to make this movie, and Guillermo del Toro was attached at one point, so it's gone through some iterations, I think, to get where it goes today. And notably, the animation is crafted after Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because they wanted it purposefully to look like storybook illustrations.
Oh, it does. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I thought this movie was excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun and kind of poignant and sweet.
And you had said I really liked the 2011 movie, and I didn't remember even watching it. But as soon as this movie started, I remembered why I did like it, which is the character of Puss in Boots and Antonio Banderas voicing it is so cute and funny.
I agree, and that's the selling point of the first film, which was directed by Chris Miller. I just watched that for the first time in preparation for this, and I felt that was a little chaotic. Again, like this film, mashing a lot of nursery rhyme characters and various other characters from fairy tales together. But this one I felt had a little more heart. The line I like best from the original, though, is when he tells the origin story for his boots, and he's like, what an odd gift to give a cat.
Okay, this story is very, there's a lot going on, but the basic story is Puss in Boots goes to the doctor after a battle, and the doctor's like, ooh, you look kind of rough. Like, you need to take care of yourself or you're going to die. And Puss in Boots is like, well, I have 9 lives. And the doctor's like, well, how many do you have left? And in a really funny scene, he tries to recount them. And he finds out he only has 1 life left. So the doctor says, I recommend you retire. So we see Puss go to like a cat group home.
That's run by a woman named Mama Luna, voiced by Divine Joy Randolph. But before he gets there, he has his...
The opening of the film is Puss in Boots recounting the story of like Star Bright and this wishing star, but it's just like a fairy tale in his mind. But when he's at the cat group home, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears show up looking for him because they need him to steal a map that will help them find where this wishing star is. So Puss is like, oh my gosh, the wishing star is real. So he leaves the group home, leaves Goldilocks and 3 Bears in the dust, to go look for this map, which is being held by Jack Horner. Mm-hmm. And that's a story about some kid putting his thumb in a pie. Mm-hmm. Or... Okay.
Voiced by John Mulaney. But no, I mean, before he even gets to the group home, he has this big scare.
So, knowing that he only has 1 life left, he starts to fear for his life. And that's when Death shows up. And Death is played by the big bad wolf.
Mm-hmm. Lobo, voiced by Wagner Moura.
And the wolf tells him, like, I'm gonna get your ass, and if we fight, it's curtains. So Puss runs. So that really affects him because he's never been afraid and he's never run before. So he's shaken by the fear of death. He's going to get this map. He's joined by, in the group home, this cat becomes fixated with him. But it's not a cat, it's a dog wearing a funny cat costume. So he has that dog following him, and then
that's voiced by Harvey Guillen
and Softpaw, Kitty Softpaw, voiced by
Salma Hayek.
She finds him, or they join because she also wants to find this map to get her wish. So they get to this magical forest, and then it's like all parties converge. So Puss in Boots, Softpaw, and the dog are there trying to find the wish. Goldilocks and 3 Bears are there, and then Jack Horner and his gang of bakers all show up and they're fighting. They ultimately find the wish. Puss does battle with Death. Like, Death finally catches up to his ass, and right as Death is about to kill him, he says, I can't do it. This is no fun because you finally have learned that you're going to like fight for your own life and that you do care. So I'm going to let you live this one life, but I'll see you later. So now Puss is going to make his wish, but Softpaw is upset. Like, I knew you were going to steal this from me. I wanted the wish. He ultimately gives it to her, but she says, I don't need it because I was going to wish for someone I can trust. And I found that without magic. So they're having this sweet moment when Jack Horner pops up, steals the map, but they're able to defeat him. And now it's the three, because Goldilocks and the Three Bears, they also realize that they have everything they need amongst each other.
Goldilocks finally realizes it's just right. Mm-hmm.
So all's well that ends well. Jack Horner's gone, and now Puss, Softpaw, and the dog go off on their next adventure, and it's played out like there'll probably be another movie with other characters from Shrek. The end.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but there wasn't a moment of it, and there isn't a line of dialogue that I didn't find cute or amusing. So it's really good, and oftentimes with like animation, I often say, who is this movie for? But in this instance, I feel like everyone would like this movie.
Well, it's kind of like the other Shrek films. There's adult innuendo, although I thought like some of that was on the back burner a lot in this, but also enjoyable for kids.
That being said, I did think that this movie, there are some creepy moments, especially with death.
I like the animation of anytime that Puss is being kind of visited upon by the fear of death and he's seeing the wolf's face everywhere. I think it's really creepy and effective.
It is creepy.
Yeah.
So I felt like this was kind of more scary than I would think for kids, but I'm sure kids will watch it.
Well, there's like this existential dread going on for Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And Starlight, Starbright. So that is an old poem that was incorporated in the Disney 40s version of Pinocchio and has been used in other films before. But there are other Pinocchio elements that show up because Jack Horner is this person who wants to collect all the magic in the world. That's why he's being delivered this map for the wishing star. And before he goes to find it, he packs up all these magic ornaments and artifacts in there. And one of them ends up being Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, there are so many like little things I think are so funny.
So once he releases Jiminy Cricket from this magic suitcase that he has, it's voiced in a style of Jimmy Stewart as his conscience, which I thought was a lot of fun because the cricket realizes that this person is reprehensible.
So when Puss in Boots shows up to the group home, the lady who's running it, she is like this crazy cat lady, and it's played out like only Puss can like talk. The other cats are like regular cats. So Puss is bored. Like he doesn't like to do cat things like use a litter box.
Or pooping in public. Yeah.
Or like eat cat food. So he's like trying to use the toilet. He's trying to cook on the stove. And every time Luna catches him, she sprays him with a water bottle. I thought that was really cute.
As soon as we see Perrito, I'm like, oh, that's not a cat. That's something wearing a cat costume.
But little Perito is funny because he has like a little snaggletooth. Mm-hmm. I thought he was so cute.
Well, he's super cute and sweet. And something else that the map does is whoever's holding it, the journey to the wishing star is modified for their own life and existence.
That was a really cute scene because, yeah, as each one of the three touches the map, like when Puss touches it, it's like evil forest.
The mountains of madness.
Like all these bad things. And then Softpaw touches it. And again, it's like misery and death. And then when little Perito touches it, it's like unicorns and candy canes and it's like rainbows. I really like that.
But still, one of the tests that they have to go through when Perito has the map is these flowers. I'm forgetting what kind of flower.
I forgot.
Pocket full of posies. And
yeah.
these posies are stopping them from moving forward. And as the cats are like slashing through them, the dog, stops to smell the roses ostensibly, and that's when they're allowed to pass. And it's about this is about enjoying life. I think is the moral fable of this fairy tale amalgamation.
So we learn. Is Softpaw part of the first movie?
Yes, she's in the first film.
So they had like a romance, and they were supposed to get married, and so there's a lot of contention between them because it's like bad blood. And we find out that Puss feels guilty because he never showed up for their wedding, but then we find out that neither did she. I thought that was funny.
And then the three bears are voiced by Olivia Colman, Ray Winstone, and Samson Kao as Baby Bear. And they're entertaining enough. And Florence Pugh is Goldilocks, who's kind of...
Oh, I didn't even recognize that was her.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't know her voice. Jack Horner is voiced by John Mulaney.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was really good. And that thing looks so creepy.
Yeah, he's a disgusting looking character, but also the brief snippet we get of his origins is that he's outshone by Pinocchio.
There's so many cute moments. Like, there's a moment when Puss and Softpaw are, like, trying to go high to grab the map, and they're, like, running in the air against each other. Just some really great visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Puss meeting all his former lives, like his 8 other lives.
But in like a funhouse of mirrors, like Lady from Shanghai.
I thought that was really cute. Then Goldilocks and the 3 Bears capture little Perito. And he, up to that point, he's like this super sweet thing that wouldn't harm a fly. And then when they capture him, he gets mad and cusses them all out. I thought
which is all bleeped out.
I thought that was really cute.
Well, and there's this other thing that cats do that they make themselves look cute by making their eyes bigger. They're trying to like out cute one another, and Perito is trying to do the same thing, but he can't, so it looks like he's gonna die.
He finally does end up doing the little like sad eyes, but it doesn't work on Jack Horner. But then he gets like a bloody nose. That was really
like
cute.
those, remember those Precious Moments figures?
Mm-hmm. Then they do something called a Spanish Splinter, which is like where Softpaw and Puss, because Jack Horner is like a giant at the end. Like,
yeah, because he's taking Alice in Wonderland's
mushrooms or whatever. Yeah. So he's huge, and they take their swords and like give him like a, what would you call that? Like a splinter under his nail.
Yes, which is how he also defeats the giant in the beginning of the film.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then at the end, when Puss, Perito, and Softpaw go off, the little dog names their group Team Friendship. I thought that was really
Which everybody
cute.
hates the name of. Even the 3 Bears are like, that's a terrible name.
Yeah. I just thought from beginning to end, it was super entertaining, super cute, funny. I would totally recommend it. I will definitely watch it again.
Well, I think it's made all the better because of this underlying darkness that's going on, or at least to my taste and sensibilities.
And the animation of, whoever does the team that did it, they do such a good job with just the little like Puss's posture, just all of it is so perfect.
Oh, and Antonio Banderas' voice work is pretty damn good. And so is Salma Hayek, who's also very entertaining in this, I think. And Harvey Guillen, who's in What We Do in the Shadows. I quite enjoyed his characterization as well. But in the beginning, where it's, Puss going into retirement, he's doing this whole Greta Garbo thing where it's like, I want to be alone. They're just... And, Mama Luna, who thinks everybody that comes is the health department.
All of it's funny, yeah, but
Yeah.
Puss in the group home, that was really good. She makes him wear little mittens on his feet, and when he goes to sleep, he takes a couple off.
And he's renamed Pickles.
And they name him Pickles. What would you give this movie?
I think 4 out of 5 is fair.
I would give it 4 out of 5 as well. Anything else?
No.
Hit the thanks button. Listen to our podcast. Bye.